In this brief video tutorial, I'll be helping you complete end of chapter problem 6.4 found on pages 186 and 87 of your course textbook. Page 173 is also being used to populate the information in black, which is the simple operating budget, which includes budgeted volume, budgeted reimbursement, and budgeted costs. The items in blue are the actual performance. Again, all of these numbers are outlined in the case example on pages 186 and 87. So just to recap, I've already populated the answer to question letter A, which is calculating the dollar variance of actual 2012 performance compared to the simple budget. So you can see all of these numbers are being compared. The first one the book wants you to look at is profits, then revenues, then costs. Let's just double click in the revenues and you can see the formula is very simple. It's actual performance less the simple budgeted performance for all three of these examples. Again, how to interpret the profit and the revenues lines. If it's negative, that would be an unfavorable performance indicator, meaning that you did not hit your budgeted targets with your actual performance, and we can see that that's the case. For revenues, we had projected to earn $1.98 million, and instead, the actual performance, we came in at 1.645. Similarly, for the profits, we expected to make $130,000 in profits, but fell short of that target because we actually incurred a loss of $275,000, meaning that we fell short of the target by $405,000. If you recall, in end of chapter problem 6.2, we covered how to create the flexible budget. This example is going to be no different. Again, for payer A volumes, we're going to focus on calculating based on actual volume times actual reimbursement. This formula can be copied down. This is a simple sum. The variable costs are going to be a function of variable costs per visit times the actual number of visits. And the fixed cost will be the fixed cost per visit times the actual volume. Total costs, again, is a simple function, and we're looking at revenues minus expenses for the profit. So again, here, if you look at the flexible budget, which is again a plan, it's not actual. Actual is over here, which means what you actually performed. This is a backwards way of working into a flexible budget to understand how flexible budgets are driven by volume. Now for letter C, I've gone ahead and created the calculations for you. There's one thing that I do want to point out that I think is particularly interesting when you're evaluating variances. When you look at the profit line, you can see that for the budget, the flexible budget, what we just calculated in column E, we were only anticipating to lose $72,857. So in an annual planning process, it's not unusual for a healthcare organization to project a net loss. Oftentimes, medical practices can also operate in a loss, so this isn't completely unreasonable. But if you compare this budgeted $72,000 worth of loss compared to what they actually experienced, which was a negative $275,000 loss, the actual performance is quite a bit more concerning. So the variance here, negative $202,143, can be interpreted that this Carroll Clinic, while they projected to only lose $72,857 in its operations in 2012, they actually lost $275,000. So they lost $202,143 more than they had originally anticipated in their financial plan or in their flexible budget. So this is an unfavorable loss, a pretty significant one. Again, if you look here at expenses, the projected, based on the flexible budget, expense was $1.72 million. They actually spent $1.92, which is a positive number. They spent more than they had planned on spending. And again, for an expense line, A positive number is an unfavorable indicator of financial performance. And here, when you are comparing a revenue projection in a flexible budget of 1.645 and you actually came in at 1.645, that's the reason why it's a zero variance, meaning there was no difference between what was planned and what actually happened. I hope you found this video tutorial helpful. Thanks for watching.